Welcome to the Schmore You Know. We are down here at an abandoned Girl Scout camp that was abandoned in, I want to say, early 30s, late 30s. Interestingly enough, it was abandoned here in New York State on the shoreline of Lake Ontario due to inflation at the time. There was a lot of things in our area that were booming. This Girl Scout park was actually really a special place back in the 30s. It may have shut down a little bit after the 30s. Maybe it was early 40s. I could be wrong on the date, but it was booming. It was a really special place, and there's a lot of areas in my hometown of Rochester, New York, that were booming during the time right when the Great Depression hit. And it's just so interesting because a guy recently purchased this park, and he's revamping it. And every time I see him, I said, it's so interesting that you happen to buy this park the same, or he took it over, maybe not bought it, but the same time that we're having inflation hit once again. So I'm going to show you guys how I packed all of my camping gear inside of the Shimoda Action X50, and also show you how easy it is to set up the, what company is this? The Cloud Peak 2. I forgot all of a sudden. Nature Hike. It's my first Nature Hike tent. So we purchased this because we were looking for an affordable tent and something that was, going to shield us from the wind, the rain, and not be too expensive because we have dogs and we need a real backpacking tent that you can see is, it's very compressible. It's very small. It's not super small. It's a two-person tent, and I feel as though it's a real two-person tent. You can actually fit two people in this tent. And it's affordable. It cost us $100 on sale at naturehike.com, and it's a tent that you can actually take backpacking that won't take up, so much space in your pack that you can't bring it with you. And it's fairly lightweight. It comes in around 5 pounds. So let's get that rolling and see how easy it is to set up, because I feel as though that's really important. Affordable tents are for people that have families, and they may be taking this tent out for the first time, just like I am here. And it's supposed to protect their family, and it's supposed to be easy to set up because it's going to be a chaotic scenario. And someone who's not familiar with setting backpacking tents up should be able to set one of these tents up without having to be a genius. So let's see how it goes. I know I'm probably going to struggle with this a little bit. I haven't gotten any sleep. I work night shift, and then after that decided to come out here and attempt my first video at doing something like this. So I purchased these extra attachment straps from Shimoda, which is really cool because they allow me to carry that much more gear. I just attached it right to the bottom of the pack. So this is actually a camera bag, and believe it or not, this is, I got it on sale. It was almost 50% off on Amazon, and also 50% off if you want to buy it from Shimoda. I don't know if the sale is still running, but I have never seen a camera bag that was a really well-built, rugged bag dedicated to the outdoors. I've seen companies like, let me think about it. I can't think of the name of the company, but I have another bag that is a really good camera bag, but they attempted to make one for backpackers, and I looked at the reviews, and that the Lower Pro backpacker style camera bag had really bad reviews. And a lot of times when companies that sell camera bags will attempt to create a backpacking bag, they'll do a prototype and really not put that much R&D into it, whereas Shimoda is legit a outdoors camera company. So they're dedicated to outdoor hiking, skiing, camera bags. So it's been a really fun bag to have, and it was really interesting to see that I could fit a ton of backpacking gear in this bag. So just opening this up, no big deal. It's just knotted, which it should be from the factory, I guess. I probably just tried to untie the knot the wrong way, but we'll get through this. So I'm hoping that the stakes are in here, because when I stepped outside the door, I wasn't actually sure if if the stakes were in this bag, but I'm sure they are. They should be, you know, like just like a regular average family, right? You're gonna buy the tent, and then you're gonna step out the door, and you're gonna wonder, well, when Amazon or when Nature Hike shipped it to me, crap, did they ship the stakes in the bag? Because that's what I just grabbed from my gear loft, and I'm going out in the woods. Hopefully it's there. So it would be intelligent if they did put them in here, and I'm sure they did. This is nice. It's kind of got a compression Velcro strap. It actually is a compression strap. That's really interesting to see. I highly doubt, it looks pretty easy to use. I'll probably be able to use this in the morning when I pack up to get out of here. All right, there's the stakes and the poles and the bag and probably a repair kit maybe. And again, I've never set this up. I have no idea what I'm doing, so don't be surprised if I'm fumbling around. And this is the first time I've ever shot a video like this, so. This here is interesting. I'm not actually sure what this part is. We'll find out. Oh, this is I know what this is. This is the very top. This tent has an interesting fly. You'll see it in a couple minutes. I don't think I'm gonna be able to set this up too quick, but it's got a very small fly, but it works properly. It just goes on the very top peak of the tent. A lot of companies make that same design, but they don't actually work. Rain comes in there, and based upon the reviews, the peak type of rain fly that this tent has, even though it's very small, it just goes on the peak. It's just there to cover up a vent. It works really well from what I've seen, and we'll test it tonight, and I'll let you know how it goes. I'll film all that, because we're gonna get some rain here down on the lake shore of Lake Ontario. So maybe these clip in, let's see. Okay. Well, that's one thing right off the bat. I kind of wish that I saw that they clipped in. Oh, that's right. This is a very interesting design. Okay, well, I'll just see how far I can get. And these are nice stakes that come with a tent. It was interesting. A lot of people, they are kind of small to be honest, but a lot of people were complaining about them, and really what they are is they're a copy version of the MSR Groundhog stakes. Same color, same shape to give you the strength that they won't bend so easily. It's that star kind of a shape. These are great stakes. I mean, they're probably not as good as the MSR Groundhogs. Of course they're not, but they're nice and light. These are good stakes. So set those to the side, and so I'm quite certain this tent has a sleeve design that you slide the poles through. As you can see, everything's brand new in here. I've never set this up before. It's got the cellophane packaging on it still. It's got a sleeve design that you slide the poles through. And, you know, if it's your first time setting one of these tents up, which this will actually be my first time ever setting up a sleeve design tent for the poles to go through, sure, a little bit more complicated. But once you get familiar with it, you can set this tent up in the rain, because it is a rain fly first tent. So you don't have to clip your mesh inner into the poles, and then after you're done have to clip the fly on. No, you do, this is a fly first tent. So as it's raining and I'm setting up, no rain should be getting inside of the tent because it's a fly first design. Now that does make it a little bit more difficult to set up, but once I get familiar with it, it's actually going to be positive and not a problem. The majority of tents in Europe are this way, I guess, supposedly because they get more rain. I think the USA should adopt this design and, you know, just bite the bullet and go ahead and do it. You know, I understand that the mesh inner first designs are easier for people to set up, but like I was just mentioning, you know, as families are going out into the wilderness, the purpose of these tents are to protect your family, protect yourself, and you don't want to get your gear wet. So, and this type of a design will prevent the inside of your tent from getting wet if you're setting it up while it's raining. Okay, so this looks like a 3-pole design. I guess we'll figure out where they go. I'm not reading the instructions, so I always say to myself, oh, I don't need to read them. And then, you know, what happens is you go to set it up and you're stuck just staring at the instructions because you have no idea what you're doing. And it's like staring at the instructions just makes it more complicated because you still can't figure it out. But we'll see if this is a little bit more intuitive than that. I hope it is. So I think these all look like, let's see if these are all identical type of poles. I believe that they are slightly different. They look very similar. Looks like, I mean, they might be a little bit different, but we're just gonna see how it goes. We're just gonna see how it goes. So I guess let's start over here. All right. Well, probably should have tucked my shirt in before I started this. This is going to be horrible. All right. I think this is essentially to clip this in here. I don't know. That's very interesting. Okay. All right. Well, I'll worry about the ground sheet later. We'll adjust that later. Okay, I think that'll go right there. Okay. And then I'm probably gonna choose to try to lay that like that for a second. Let's set this to the side. All right, we already got that one there. Okay, set this off. So far, it's pretty intuitive. I think perhaps at this point, I can attempt to start clipping some sections in. We'll go ahead and do that. Probably a little bit difficult with one hand, but we'll find out. All right. And this is this is another thing that I know I'm looking for for our family tent is a fully freestanding tent. When you get a fully freestanding tent, it just means that if you know, you don't really have to stake it out at all. It's fully supported all the way by these poles, and staking it out is essentially for only if you have really bad weather. There are some other reasons, but what you can do with a fully freestanding tent is if you set it up somewhere and you realize, oh, it's a little bit uneven, you can just pick it up and set it anywhere else you want. But with many tents out there, they're not fully freestanding, and you can't pick them up and just set them somewhere else. So the practicality of these kind of fully freestanding tents are where it's at. It's what I prefer to have for a family tent. You know, I want ease of use. I want to be relaxed. I don't want to have to break this whole thing down to set it up somewhere else if I need to. This is something that I think I'm supposed to do accurately, and I'm really not paying that much attention to, and I should be. But we'll find out. Okay, so looks like this is a pole clip down here. Boy, I have no idea what I'm doing now. We're in it. Okay. All right. Sweet, still in? All right, cool. Oh God, I thought I just broke it. All right, we're in. Okay. Let's start clipping this one on. Oh, this is so nice. Okay, I was wondering, because I said it's fully freestanding, but I had to see it to believe it. So a lot of tents, some even state that they're fully freestanding, but you have to stake out the doors, like the vestibule doors. On this tent, you don't. This tent is fully freestanding. Like, I mean, the entire thing will be nice and taut, nice and tight, and you can pick it up and move it, and it will just be perfect. Now, I'm probably not putting this together properly, but you can set, even from someone that doesn't know what they're doing with this tent, you can see it's going together really nicely. And that's how these tents should be. They should be very easy to set up. And if you do something a little bit wrong, as long as you're not in really bad weather, it kind of doesn't, right? It just doesn't really matter. Granted, I'll probably go through, adjust all this and fix what I'm not doing right. But if I didn't want to, I wouldn't have to, you know. Okay, just real quick, check all the clips. I think that's pretty good. And then, you know, I mean, I can tell I don't technically have this set up perfectly. But I think in a second here, I'm gonna go ahead and put the rain fly like that. There's a section that just goes, there's a vent right here to prevent condensation. I think that's okay. And I'm gonna go ahead and put that on now. I might just try to switch this one out. Yeah, that'll be fine. All right, that'll work. There we go, perfect. Okay, let's see if I can get this. Well, here's another one. Nice, now it's real tight. See if I can put this little tiny extra piece of a rain fly on, just to cover these two vents, which I will need to do because it's going to rain tonight. Now this is gonna be, I don't know how to do this, so this is the one part I'm gonna struggle with. It's not really that intuitive, but I mean, I shouldn't say that yet because I never tried it, but from looking at the reviews, this is the part that seemed kind of confusing. Okay, so just I guess it is a little bit intuitive. Can you do this one-handed? No, I think you need two hands to do this part. And I don't know the height that this is supposed to be at. We'll find out. Let's see here. Well, that don't seem right. That don't seem right. We'll find out though. Oh, probably just because it's supposed to go lower. Okay. Yeah, okay. So, I think this is more intuitive than I thought. It just goes a little bit lower than I was originally setting it to. Cool. All right, nice. Now, these guys here, you can make, like, there's no guy line here. It's just a stretchy, whatever the term is, stretchy, elastic, like spandex type of cord. And if you wanted to make it tighter, because you can't really pull on it, like there's no special kind of a guy line here, but what you can do is you could just take this and spool it around, and every time you wrap it around this, it's gonna make it, you know, 1 times more tight. So that's an option. And let's see here, starting to rain, okay. Well, at that point, we'll probably set the camera inside, so as you can see, I don't have a super wide angle lens, so it's gonna be a little bit difficult to see, but it's nice and taut. The walls are very vertical on this tent. They don't sag down on you. Like, so when you're in here with your sleeping bag, these walls are not gonna sag down on your feet. You can see this back wall here is a very vertical 90-degree angle. Same with the foot, for the foot box and the head of your sleeping bag. It's fairly vertical, which is very good. 2 vestibules. There's a vestibule on this side of the tent as well. So we have this vestibule here, and we also have a vestibule right here. So 2 vestibules. So if you are in there with your partner, you can both have one side of the tent to get, you know, if you gotta pee in the middle of the night, you know, you don't want to be stepping over your partner. I don't know if you're like me, but I have to pee at least 2 times a night, sometimes more. But yeah, so I'm gonna get all my gear in the tent, and I'll see you guys in a minute. Okay, guys, I just cooked me up some Mountain House beef stroganoff and noodles. I highly recommend this. This is my favorite Mountain House meal. What's your favorite backpacking meal? Drop it in the comments, because I'm always looking to try a new backpacking meal, but I have not found one better than the Mountain House beef stroganoff noodles. But I will say that it does appear that I added approximately 10 times too much water to it. Well, that's just the way she goes. You know, I'm still gonna love it. We'll let this heat up. Yeah, we'll just let this keep, maybe we'll just keep letting it heat up, and it'll expand, suck up some of that water. I tell you what, I'm hungry, and I also have a Easter bunny that I stole. Not an actual Easter bunny, that would be crazy if I stole the Easter bunny and I was going to eat him, but I happened to find and acquire an Easter bunny at work, a chocolate Easter bunny that no one else apparently wanted, and I took it and I have it, and I'm going to eat it for dessert after I eat my favorite Mountain House meal. So I will see you guys in a minute. Shout out to a friend's channel Adirondack Bushmaster, he has a lot of very interesting videos, and I also have another channel myself called Truth Rising TV. If you're into channels that are not polished and bring just something really interesting, I would say my channel, Truth Rising TV, my other side channel, well, this channel is Jen's channel, but I'll be on this channel occasionally. However, like I said, my channel, other channel, Truth Rising TV, I would have to say it's very, it's very interesting. I think like if I were to ask a family member what they thought of it, they would probably say, "Oh, it's very interesting." But Bushmaster, Adirondack Bushmaster, check out that YouTube channel. Lots of outdoor related survival, prepping type of stuff, and he covers all topics as well. Very good. I prefer YouTube channels that are very interesting. I'm not into the ones that cover like a topic that, you know, a YouTube creator will make that they know will get a lot of views. I'm more into channels that really cover something of depth. I don't, like if I'm gonna make content, I want it to be interesting to, say, the 10% of the population in America that thinks the way I do. I don't really want to get, you know, all the views in the world. I keep it real on Truth Rising TV. Adirondack Bushmaster keeps it real on Adirondack Bushmaster. And me and him soon, we team up occasionally, but we're gonna team up soon, hopefully, and interview a guy called North Alabama Cryptid. Now, I just said, if I had to categorize my channel, I would categorize it as interesting, because it's very interesting. However, North Alabama Cryptid is something else. This gentleman, he lives in North Alabama, and he has many a real story of Bigfoot. And I don't know if you guys have noticed, but this whole Bigfoot thing has been taken off on YouTube all of a sudden. But that's not why he's into it. He's into it because he's really seen it. And so has Bushmaster. I have not. However, just hearing the accounts of what other people have seen and heard in the woods, I'll tell you what, it's getting dark here, and I'm not even gonna think about it anymore, because nope, It is so crazy. I'll put this out there. If you guys don't follow any of these channels that cover Bigfoot, let me recommend it to you. And go subscribe to Adirondack Bushmaster, and go subscribe to North Alabama Cryptid, and check out my channel, Truth Rising TV. I think that the future of the story of Bigfoot is unfolding before our eyes as people start to listen more to the first-hand accounts And there's many interesting topics in the world. Some that feel so important that we're just compelled to talk about them with our family members, our coworkers, our partners. But this story of Bigfoot is just, when you think about it, it's mind-blowing. I can't imagine what it must be like to see one face to face. I would have to say that those that do see one face to face and that they go on to tell the story and get a taste of it and a craving to hunt, I would fathom to say that these people are probably among the strongest people. They have the strongest character. Not that they're not fearless, but if I saw one, I wonder if immediately my life would change forever. I'm sure theirs has, but I'm sure it's changed many people immediately upon the experience in a way that could fracture your mind. My whole reality would be forever changed if I had confirmation that there is another upright walking humanoid creature out there that would knock us off of the podium of being the alpha predator on planet Earth. And sure, there's other predators that, if we went fist to cuffs with, perhaps we're not the alpha. If we went fist to cuffs with lions and bears, right? But these Bigfoot, if they're real, they are the alpha predator no matter what. Because they can't be seen. They can't be detected. My theory is, sure, right? Maybe they have telepathy. And that's how they're undetected, is because they know when you're around. So it's easy for them to leave, be quiet. They know you're there. And, I say telepathy, but really it's just they're in tune with nature. They hear better. They smell better. They think better. They're just more present, right? But the thing that blows me away is if they're undetected, what are the implications of that? Because when we're seeing one or two of these undetected creatures, at large, undetected, unseen, invisible, are these just the outliers? Maybe the day watchers, the guardsmen that are keeping guard? And are there more? Thousands more in certain areas? Well, how large are the areas where they live? Could there be caverns underground? Could there be caverns the size of modern cities? Perhaps the size of states? Perhaps the size of countries? We're finding out that there's oceans underground. There's many oceans and aquifers underground. And some of them even single ones of them are so big that there's more water in one single aquifer than there is on the whole surface of the earth. Of all the oceans on the surface of the earth, there's more water in one underground aquifer. So it tells you how big the spaces are in the caverns underground. And it just makes me, it makes me very creeped out that there could be underground dungeons of hundreds and thousands or millions or billions or trillions of Bigfoot underground. And then at that point, we really got to rename them, because what we're talking about is an army of the underground that is, it's got to be nefarious in nature. It's got to be evil, because otherwise, why are they hiding? And sure, they may see us as evil, and we may be evil to them. Who knows? I don't know. But regardless, by not communicating and hiding, that tells a big story. No line of communication. You know, there's a reason for that. And it just makes me wonder what they're up to. What are their plans? Was there a time on Earth when they lived above ground? It does seem that they have the perfect body structure and hair to live in any climate above ground. And the hair is interesting because many people speculate that Bigfoot, one of the reasons they're able to be so stealth is because they can teleport. They can come in and out of existence. They can just disappear through portals. And immediately, I thought of their body hair, and I said, oh, that's very interesting. Because just at face value, yeah, obviously, I don't, no one else does either, just to be realistic. We're just not there yet. Not our species. We don't understand teleportation. But from just the sci-fi discussion of it, if you teleport and you have your body's molecules disassembled and reassembled at another location, they have to be your organic molecules. They theorize that clothing would not successfully rematerialize on the other end, and that they could pose many problems if you did it with clothing on. Well, they have the perfect clothing, don't they? Because their clothing is organic. It's their DNA. And it would harmonize perfectly with a portal on the other side when they came through it. No matter how cold the climate was as well, when they come out, say they come out in Antarctica, they left California, a hot climate, they could come out in Antarctica and they wouldn't even be cold. Very interesting. But I don't know how I got off on a big, long Bigfoot tangent, but we're gonna see if this Mountain House meal has gotten any better. Okay. Still quite liquidy, but that's okay. We're gonna enjoy this. Oh, that's good stuff. All right. Well, I'm gonna eat this. Listen to the creepy sounds in nature. I kid you not. I literally just heard whooping. It's like whoop, 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 whoop. Oh, fucking me. I hear it again. Okay, you know what? I'm just creeping myself out. It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be cool. All right, I'm gonna eat this meal. I'll see you guys in a little bit. Man, I think we got a Bigfoot. Okay, you guys, I think I'm going to crawl into the sack, or hit the sack. I'm not going to crawl into the sack. That's not this guy. I'm going to hit the sack. There's also an owl now hooting. There was something making a whooping sound. These woods are fucking creepy. I swear to God. So, I'll keep you guys updated. Whenever something happens, I'll film it. Otherwise, I'm gonna head to bed. And I'll see you guys whenever something happens here. Alright.